All right, thanks, Francella. The KUSI limousine has delivered our next guest right on time and on schedule. Wait a minute, hang on a second. We have two guests.
Wait, the best part about that.
One is very well coiffed and taken care of. The other, well, not so much.
Wait, and the best part about that is Brandon just tipped Paul off saying, bro, you're on TV. Pay attention.
Bro, you're on TV.
Pay attention, bro.
Welcome, Paul Rudy.
Hi, Paul
and Brandon
Stone. Ladies and gentlemen, yay, where's the round of applause?
This is it.
No? This is what you get?
Hi, good morning.
Hi.
Good morning.
Hi.
Howdy.
Why is Brandon here today?
Brandon is here because of a promotion. Brandon is now considered a Prep Picks Report co-producer. He joins the ranks of Rick Willis, Brian Burke, and myself. These are people who, with the title, comes added responsibility with no extra compensation.
Welcome to KUSI, my friend.
Brandon carries a lot of water for the show, and I thought it's only right to announce to the world that he is now a Prep Picks Report co-producer.
Yay, Brandon. Well deserved. Much deserved.
Any words of wisdom, Brandon?
Well, I like the part about the more work with less compensation part. You know, that's fine. We're going to get fired up. Tonight is such a big night, and it's great to see the legend go on. 18 years strong. Next year, or the next 2 years, we're going to have people that are on the PPR whose fathers were on the PPR. And to me, that's a big deal to continue to do what we have done and to carry it on into what's coming in next generation.
All right, and we can't have this without the great kids. So let's talk about these kids.
Absolutely.
These athletes.
We have to make it have to happen. Let's start right at the top with Braxton Burmeister. Why not? A kid from
La Jolla Country Day.
Quarterback, holds 7 CIF records. Most of them established this year alone. Is on his way to Arizona. Funny enough, did a little debut where he popped out of the sand of the La Jolla Cove and said, "I'm going to Arizona." So we're really excited to have him around.
All right. And
hang on a second. Paul, anything to say about that?
You know, well, the other thing about him is he's actually can play at all places. Some people want him to be a wide receiver. Some people want him to play defense. But he can play anywhere in the country that he wants to play.
And tell me about Jordan Genmark Heath.
Yes, our man from Sweden. You know, the cool thing about him is he played on the Swedish national team when he was a preteen and then came to America, went to Cathedral, and has become maybe the best two-way player in all of San Diego. He's going to be a Cal Bear next year and has all the attributes you want of a guy that's not just going to play on Saturdays, but play his Sundays as well.
He's Swedish?
Swedish national team.
That is absolutely correct. He played on the national team. That's how he actually came to America, was on a tour.
Does he have an epic accent?
You can see a little accent. It's funny enough, he actually qualified when he first came to America for ESL classes. We wouldn't think, if you saw him, people wouldn't think that, but it's absolutely true.
Wow.
And it had to learn. And now one of the cool things he does, he actually has a little buddy at school as well that he trains who has special needs issues. He trains him. And
so an all-around good guy, too.
He's really a success story.
All right. How about Milan Grice?
Absolutely. Milan Grice, plays for Rancho Bernardo. Gained across the 1,500-yard barrier rushing this year. Unfortunately, an injury at the end of the season, but there's a reason why that squad won, I believe, 20 games in a row.
Wow.
The last 2 years.
It's like Penn and Teller here.
I know, right? Totally.
I don't get it.
Tate Haynes.
Tate Haynes. Let's talk about Tate Haynes.
Well, Tate Haynes of Cathedral, the second Cathedral guy on the board, talented quarterback on his way to Boston College, son of a Hall of Famer, Mike Haynes, who many people watching this might remember from the Raider days, some from the Patriot days.
Yeah.
A man who, in college they might want to play wide receiver, but the man, if you're the quarterback on the best team in the county, that's saying something. And in the CIF championships, he absolutely established himself both with his arm and with his legs. Had a nice 60-yard run as well as a couple tosses.
All right, Samson New from Madison High School, huh?
Now, this guy right here interviewed Samson right outside on our set when he chose to go to Oregon.
I remember that.
Yes.
He brought the whole family out on the patio.
Did. And you're going to see all those family members and more. We got 90 from that crew going to the ship tonight. So he's a talented linebacker, fierce, cares. He doesn't wear 55 by accident. Has old family ties going back to his parents with Junior Seau, and he plays just like him, including that fist pump right there. Oregon has a player because their defense needs some help, considering they went, 4-8.
I was just going to ask about that because Oregon has been a mess, a debacle this season. Is he still going to be going to Oregon? Is he still committed?
According to him, he is. But we're going to see what changes they make on the defensive side of the ball with the coaching staff. If the coaches that recruit him leave, then he might just jump ship. And he had 27 offers. 27. That's
I
right,
remember.
27? Yeah, 27
offers.
27 offers. And so you still got 26 folks on the board, plus those who thought he was out of the running.
And Ezekiel Noah's got a lot of offers as well.
Yes, he does, and it's going to be interesting to see what happens to him. He's also one who had to suffer an injury last week, fortunately, to his knee. We'll see what happens with that. But you talk about fierceness. I love this podium because there's this old idea of, oh, this is just like the Heisman. We don't let any offensive players win the trophy. It's absolutely incorrect. We have dominant defensive players on the board, including this man. Look at him swing that man around like Play-Doh. It just doesn't play around. And we look at Helix going to the Open Division final in its first year with a new coach after the Star era, the Robbie Owens era, going to the final.
And Oregon getting another one of our San Diegans, C.J. Verdell.
Yes, C.J. Verdell certainly can run. Watching him play, he plays like an NFL running back. He wears that 5 with pride. I mean, look at the way that he can just dash and dunk throughout the entire world.
Man, you look like Sproles there. Look at that move. Wow.
There's a few people that think he's the favorite entering tonight. I think it's a wide open field. I don't think anybody's got this. And it reminds me about the 2014, I think, when Deshaun Holiday won. People said, okay, we think he's the favorite, but we're not sure if he can pull it off. We're going to see if CJ can pull it off tonight. I know Paul would absolutely concur that it's a group of 7 guys.
You would concur?
Yeah, okay. He understands. He certainly does.
Let's talk about the night tonight. What is it going to be like, and can anybody go still?
Yeah, anyone can go, really. Anybody can be there. 758 people have reserved.
758 people are going to this thing?
Yes, 758. That's my last count. Paul, what was your last count? I think it was 758. Yeah.
Paul doesn't do the counting.
Yeah, that is my job, actually.
Apparently not. Apparently not.
What does this trophy mean to you?
That's a great question. I started
Thank you for printing it for me.
I started on the show in 2008 as a lowly intern, grabbing this guy's coffee and dry cleaning. And
wait, time out. You have interns that do that?
Yes, he has a lot of interns. This is a powerful man in front of you, Lise. He knows what's going on in the world.
Sorry, Brandon. Keep going with yours.
And I didn't understand what this was about when I first started, but it became very clear very quickly how important being a part of not just the show, but being a part of this night and the Silver Pigskin Gala and being a part of the record. Keeping, when someone wins the Heisman, they're launched into college football history. Apparently, the Heisman's never heard of Donnell Pumphrey, but that's a different story for a different day.
Right.
But what are some of the big names? What are some of the big names
well,
on this trophy?
I'm glad you actually asked that question, because if you look third down, I don't know who had that shot. I'll just turn slowly. If you look on there, you'll see right there is Reggie Bush, who everybody knows.
Of course.
We also have Jake Fedden, who worked here. and the names just get more and more great as the years go on, because this really is a place of record. Ryan Lindley, for example, who played in San Diego with the Chargers for a time. Steph McClure, who played at Cal. So many great names. Guys who played in the NFL, Gaffney, Rosario, and so on and so forth, and guys who are just in college now who are going to play like Royce Freeman.
I was going to say
a legacy.
I was going to say too. I always like whenever anybody from the NFL comes to town and you guys go into the Chargers locker room, or you go into the locker room and you talk to anybody and they're like, "I was a finalist for the PPR.
Yes, it's
and
true.
You didn't pick me."
It's true. It's true. We just had the Dolphins in town a couple weeks ago. And you had Kenny Stills on that team, who was a nominee in 2009. No, he didn't win, but he still gets to carry on the idea that he was on that stage and was a really legendary crew. So we like it. We have, finalists, we have fan vote finalists. It's really spread, and now there's really just a lineage that connects people. Ricky Williams, who ran here at Patrick Henry and then went on to win the Heisman, and I think it was either 98 or 99. Remember which one it was?
98.
I think it was 99. 99. The point is that now, when he was a child, he would go and eat pies on the windowsill of another man, Desmond Patton, who was a Silver Pigskin semifinalist last year. So you have these lineages that even connect guys who weren't around to win this trophy.
Wow.
Perhaps we should have spent money on the limo for you.
Oh,
perhaps.
Because when we had to spend big bucks to get Paul here this morning.
I'm a common man. I represent the common man.
I represent
the silent
the regular
majority.
No, wait a minute, silent majority.
So glad you got up so early for this, Paul.
Yeah, thanks for having
Paul and
me.
I are both glad we got up and showed up here. Yeah, it's been great. I especially love the pearls of wisdom that Paul's been able to drop all these years.
I know.
Great man.
How about the
can
pearls of
interject
wisdom in the
one
last
thing?
20 minutes?
Go ahead.
For this, this is the eve of the 75th anniversary of Pearl Harbor. To be in the Midway, which was named after the Battle of the Midway, which are kind of bookends. They're kind of linked in history because if Pearl Harbor is seen as the start of the USA involvement in World War II, the Battle of Midway is the decisive battle that won the Pacific and then eventually led to the victory of the war. That museum, the Midway Museum, is a tribute to all the brave men and women who served on it, and it symbolizes strength, endurance, courage. How cool it would be if our trophy got some of those, some of that crossover. So that's what we're we're trying to synergize.
Make happen tonight.
As we want people to see the same things that make a great military person also make a great athlete and make a great representative.
Well, it's a magical night, of course. It is always so fun to watch. And these kids, you know, there's no denying that these kids and their families put in so much work to get them to where they are today and tonight. So we are going to be watching as you award the 2016 Silver Pigskin Award.
What do you mean you'll be watching? You two aren't coming? You better be coming.
And poetic justice, Brandon. Paul's microphone's not working.
Really? Isn't that?
It might not be. It might not be.
Yeah, honestly, God.
Batteries, you know, that's kind of the way it goes.
My jeans are too tight.
Well, America, why don't we toss the break if you're going to just go with that immediately?
All right, we are going to live stream the PPR. If you did not get a ticket, we're going to take a break. We'll be right
Check
back.
it out.
It doesn't really not work.